Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Addiesdive AD2089. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Matthey Tissot H903. This was the latest Members' Choice watch, and it's been a week now, so everybody can see the review. And Grogo's wearing my Chensky 8266. Grogu said that Ben Solo heard his parents arguing again. Princess Leia wants Han Solo to sell the Millennium Falcon back to Lando Calrissian and get a 9-to-5 job. He said, when porgs fly, she said, porgs fly all the time. He said, oh crap, I guess I'm committed. All right, let's take a look at this watch. Comes in this typical Addiesdive plastic box. Addiesdive still uses this box, and I really like this box. It's really nice. It's really convenient. Protects the watch, and it stacks really nicely, and you can keep all your stuff in there. And here it is. Isn't that a great looking watch? I think Addiesdive has a winner here. This one looks really good. This is the 20th Addiesdive on my channel. When I first started my channel 4 years ago, Addiesdive appeared to be a slightly more affordable version of Steel Dive, making very similar versions of Captain Willard and Tuna. But it didn't take long for Addiesdive to branch off and start making watches that look nothing like Steel Dive. One big difference between Addiesdive and Steel Dive is that Addiesdive makes quite a few more quartz watches, and as you can see by the ticking second hand, this AD2089 is a quartz powered by the ever-reliable Miyota 2115. The case and bezel may be a bit derivative, but the skeleton hands, gradient enamel dial, and matching colored Wristshot give this watch a look of its own. I paid $44 for this watch, and it is currently going for $40 during the big summer sale. This watch comes in 4 different colorways, with each having a matching color rubber strap option. We have the orange that I chose, green, red, and black. All 4 have black bezels. With the black, you appear to lose the gradient effect of the other colors. My rule of thumb is to usually choose the bracelet over the strap if it has fitted end links, as it is easier to get another strap than a bracelet. In this case, the bracelet is only $2 more. Addiesdive claims this is a 41mm, but I measure 40.4mm at the bezel, and the bezel slightly overhangs the case. So I think they got that wrong. It's 48mm lug to lug, and it has protruding end links, not inverted. It's 13mm thick, which is kind of thick for a quartz watch, but once again, this is a 200-meter dive watch, so it's got to have some thickness to it. And I don't count the Cyclops. It's a 20mm lug width, and it tapers down to 18 at the clasp, and weighs 143 grams on the supplied solid steel bracelet with 3 links removed. Yes, I removed 3 links, so as you can see, the bracelet's fairly long. The bezel's ceramic insert. It's 120 click unidirectional, and the action's great. Really good action, no back play, nice solid clicks, and enough resistance. I don't think you're going to be knocking it out of place a lot. So really happy with the bezel action. And then we have a Wristshot, and the Wristshot has minute markers and counters at the 5s. Kind of hard to see the markers on the Wristshot, but you don't really need them as you have minute markers on the dial anyway. And then we do have the dial. We have the Addiesdive name printed up top with the logo, and then on the bottom here, let me get this hand out of the way, it says Divers 200, and it's got an apostrophe S. And so that implies ISO 6425 certification, but I can assure you that no $40 watch is going to be ISO 6425 certified, because to pass ISO 6425, each and every watch has to be tested, not just a sampling. So, and there's no way you're going to test each and every single watch and sell it for $40. That's just not going to happen. So this is just probably a fib here. And if anybody knows different, if anybody from Addiesdive can show me the paperwork that this is certified, then I will change my opinion, but there's no way. And then we have the dial itself. The dial itself is great looking. We got a nice sunburst effect, and it's a gradient dial. It starts out as orange and slowly turns into black by the time it gets to the end. And it's a really good effect, and I like that a lot. This dial is a real stunner. They call it an enamel dial, so I assume that's the paint. And then we have the markers, and as you can see, we don't have dots like a Submariner. We have little squares, which is more like a Tudor. And we do have batons though at the 6, 12, and 9. And then we have the hands. We have kind of skeleton hands. And these hands are fairly unique. I don't even know what to call them. So I like the hands. Then we have a spear tip second hand. And then we have a date at the 3 with a Cyclops, and the Cyclops does a pretty good job at magnifying. There is, though, quite a bit of reflection on the Cyclops, but at least it magnifies and it is centered. So I like a Cyclops. A lot of people hate them, but I'm fine with them. I guess I'm old, and a Cyclops does help me see the date. And then we have a sign screw down crown, and the thread action is great, buttery smooth. Then when you go to screw it back down, it catches right away. You don't feel like you're going to strip it. And this is a Miyota 2115, so you don't get that annoying minute hand jump. And let me show you. See, didn't jump, so that's great. And really, a Miyota 2115 is about as good as a Quartz movement you're going to get for a three-hander in this price range. And some people might prefer the VH31 because it takes 4 times a second, but you lose the date then, and I much rather have a date. And as you can see too, the second hand is hitting the marks. So if you have the Quartz watch OCD, this one's not going to set it off. And then we have the crystal. Crystal's flat. It's mineral glass, so not sapphire. This is a $40 watch. Sapphire would have just raised the price. They do claim it has AR coating. So crystal's fine. And then we have the case. If there's one thing really derivative about this watch, it's the case. This case just screams Submariner. And the older 40mm version, because it's got the really thick lugs here. But it's a nicely done case. I mean, there's a reason why the Sub is so popular. So I do like the case. And we got polished sides, brushed tops, and brushed bottoms. Then we have the case back. We have a coin edge. We have the Addiesdive logo in the bottom. Then it says Addiesdive stainless steel sport diving. See, here it says diving, not divers. So this one's okay. It's okay to say diving, but you're not supposed to have the apostrophe S unless you're certified. Then it says waterproof, 200 meters. Waterproof isn't really true. A watch really isn't waterproof. It's water resistant. But resistant wouldn't have fit there, but proof does. I guess that's okay. Then I forgot to check what size. This is a coin edge case back, so you're going to need a coin edge opener, and I forgot to see what size. So let me check that real quick. And I went ahead and got out my tools, and you're going to need a 29.5mm opener. So the nice thing is the 29.5 is the biggest one they have in this one kit you can buy, fairly affordable. Then underneath the case back, once again, is the Miyota 2115. This is just a basic three-hand Quartz movement. And once again, though, you're really not going to do much better for this price. I mean, even if you stick with Miyota, anything better would have like a solar, and solar would have just ruined this dial. So if you're going to have Quartz, I don't see any reason to complain about a 2115, even though they're very, very affordable. Then we have the bracelet. Bracelet's a 3-link oyster style, and we have solid protruding end links. It would have been nice if these were inverted, but because this is a fairly big case. And we have push pins, not screw pins. I'm perfectly happy with push pins. They come out nice and easy, and I don't have to worry about push pins falling out on me. I've had several screw pins come out on me before. And with screw pins, if you really have a nice, valuable watch, you might want to put Loctite on them, and who wants to mess with that? Then we have the clasp. Clasp is kind of a disappointment. See, when I first started my channel, this is the clasp Addiesdive always had, and you kind of expected it. And then Addiesdive upped their game and started making a really good milled clasp and started putting it on their watches, and everybody was all, because it had 6 holes of micro adjust and nice milled clasp, and it was signed and looked great. But I guess when you make a watch this good, something has to suffer to keep the price down, and the clasp is what suffered. So they went back to this press clasp for this watch. And I mean, it does the job. And if you want a better clasp, just buy one off of AliExpress. They're not very expensive. Then you can get one with on the fly and milled, and it won't cost a lot of money. And this one's not even signed, so you're not even losing the signature if you replace the clasp. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. That wears nice. This is a really good looking watch. I removed 3 links, so the bracelet's nice and long. So you'll be able to wear this probably 8 3/4. Anything bigger, you'll need more links. And I'm sure if you ask, they'll send you more links. But no, really like this watch. And it looks good on the bracelet. Yeah, they have the strap option, but personally, I see no reason to ever take this off the bracelet unless you're just really a fan of rubber straps. Here we're on the lume room. When it comes to lume, Addiesdive usually punches well above what one would expect from a sub $50 watch. And wearing the watch, I've not been disappointed. I have a feeling this is going to be a great test. As we speed up the time, all I can say is wow. We see a nice blue glow of BGW9 and a fully lume bezel. There seems to be some pretty strong legs to this lume, as everything is keeping up nicely. As time goes by, though, it looks like the weak parts are the tip of the second hand and the lume bezel, except for the home triangle, which is keeping up with the minute hand. It's amazing that a watch in this price range can have lume this good. What do I like about this watch? Well, it looks and wears great. I like this gradient enamel dial. I like these skeleton hands. It has excellent lume, and it has good bezel action with no backplay. What are my gripes and groans? The clasp is kind of a letdown, considering that Addiesdive has upped their clasp game, and they just didn't do it with this one. It says divers with an apostrophe S, when it should only do that when it's ISO 6425 certified. I don't make the rules. And having a coin edge case back means you might not have the right tool to open it. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, of course. It's hard to imagine a better Quartz dive style watch for a similar money. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Addiesdive AD2089, and I'll be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, I'll leave an affiliate link. And if you buy it through that link, I'll get a tiny commission. And it won't cost you anything more. And these tiny commissions add up. And it's these tiny commissions that let me buy a little bit nicer watches like that Steinhardt I just reviewed not too long ago. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice member. Now that the review for this at Matthew Tissot has gone live for everybody, I'm going to put it up for sale today, and once it sells, I'll put it up another round of watches for vote. Bye.